Suing LA Fitness after a man was seen on camera stalking their teen daughter at a Miami gym, eventually cornering her and touching her inappropriately. He pled guilty to a felony battery charge, and now her family says it's time to hold the gym accountable. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A 14-year-old girl's workout at a Miami-Dade County gym essentially turned into an alleged nightmare back in 2023, and her family now wants LA Fitness to pay up millions of dollars to compensate her for psychological trauma. This teen was apparently accosted in a workout area that allegedly wasn't well supervised by gym staff or even had surveillance cameras, and according to a new lawsuit, that particular gym knew that the suspect, Richard Bosch, was trouble. That's the allegation, and apparently they say the gym didn't limit his access to the facility.
So as you've seen in that video, this woman was trying to work out, and this dude, assaulted her sexually, and there were people around. And that just goes to show you cannot depend on nobody else but yourself when it comes to protecting yourself. She could have screamed and caused a scene, which I suggest when you're in those situations. And I don't know if she did, but it doesn't seem like it based off of what they were saying in the video. They stated multiple people were around, and it took somebody to not even say something, but somebody was walking by for the man to stop. But there was people just going about their workout. Now, I don't know if they were paying attention to what was going on, but that's just the reality of the situation. You can't depend on nobody but yourself when it comes to protecting yourself. Don't leave your safety in anybody's hands. Take initiative to protect yourself. I tell my wife all the time, keep your pepper spray on you and your noisemaker on you, even in the gym. Don't matter where you're at. Because there'll be one day where you might have to use these tools, and one day people might look the other way. You look at today's society, and we have people who will record before help. And it's very sad. And because of that, you always got to depend on yourself when it comes to protecting yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. And if somebody does, you're lucky. But why take that risk? This guy, whatever, he was a known person for starting trouble. He had a long record, blah, 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 blah. But none of that matters. Record or no record, that doesn't matter. There's people like that in this world all around you, and you don't know. So take the initiative to protect yourself. Sometimes nobody's going to save you. And you have to be ready for that. And it's important that you be aware of your surroundings, body movement and stuff. In the video also said this man approached her like several times. You know what I'm saying? Or a couple times where he was on some creepy stuff. Hey, at that point, don't wait for the 7th, 8th, 9th sign if you're being harassed. Go report that person and get help. If somebody's not complying with your request of personal space, it's your job to let somebody know who works at that place. That's what they get paid for. That's why they're there, to supervise the area. You know what I'm saying? And there was also some people saying that, they knew about him and they didn't restrict his, his access to the gym and stuff. Well, you see what I'm saying? They knew the character of this man in the gym, and they proceeded to let him work out there. Are they looking out for anybody's safety there at that point? So what are you going to do about it? Imagine if she went there and then, they just brushed it off or whatever. Or they make a big deal out of it. And they told him, yo, cho, da-da-da-da. but he wasn't requested to leave. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you have to think about. Especially, I know this is not the circumstance, but if you go into the gym at late night and you're by yourself and you're working out by yourself and there's only a few people in there, or because at night you have to go back to your parking lot, to your car, or whatever. I'm gonna keep making these videos because clearly they need to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. There's always gonna be people who need to hear these type of things because this keeps gonna keep going on because this is the world we live in. You know, a world where things like this are never gonna happen is not gonna happen. It's impossible. So knowing that, what are we gonna do to make sure we're safe? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna take the steps to make sure you are safe? You're gonna pray in the morning before you leave and cover yourself and take the tools with you to protect yourself that people made? Or are you gonna continue to walk in this life acting as if we don't live in a world where these things happen? We all have a choice and the choice is yours. You gotta care. Nobody can care more for you. Nobody can be around you 24/7 and hold your hand. Your husband, your wife, your brother, sister, mother, they can't be with you 24/7. So what are you gonna do when they're not there and it's just you and you have to deal with life alone? Because everybody has a life to live. Everybody gotta go to work. Everybody gotta do different things. What are you gonna do? You gonna wait for somebody to help you? Or you gonna help yourself? It's time to do better. So subscribe to my channel and watch my videos.